Hey!
Hey, look who it is. How
Let me
you
turn
doing?
you up here. There we go.
All right.
How are you?
You look very nice tonight. Trying to.
Listen, I've had this makeup on for like 10 hours.
Oh, word, word,
So
word.
I'm hoping the video isn't high def and I'm like back away a little bit.
Nah, you're perfect. You're just perfect, perfect.
Thank you.
I make sure I'll be plugging, make sure my book is in the background and the whole nine. So.
Yes. Wait, can
Yeah.
I tell you real quick though? I
What's up?
went on your website because I mean, of course, I know of you from my time in DC. But
Right.
I went to check out your website, the link on your bio, and I started reading what I thought was your bio, and it was like about the book.
Right.
So I get halfway through, I'm like, this is kind of a lot, and I was like, oh, okay, this is about his book, like
Yeah.
what the book is about.
Yeah.
So yeah, sounds interesting though.
Well, yeah. I hope you pick it up.
I will. I'll check it out for sure. I'm a big reader.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, first and foremost, let's get this thing started. Everybody, thank you for joining another edition of Dope Chats with Stretch. I'm yours truly, Stretch, a 6'6" phenomenon. And tonight I am joined by a very special young lady who, man, I read your bio. I was just like, whoa, that's you got a lot of interesting stuff in your bio. And ironically, like you said, you have a connection here to the DMV. And we'll get into that. But I would like for everybody to please show your love for Jeannette Reyes.
Thank you for having me. It's really cool.
No doubt. So I'm gonna give you your flowers. You know, Jeannette, she is a news anchor for 6 ABC Action News in Philadelphia. How long have you been in Philly?
4 years in June of this year.
Wow, that's what's up. So you started off well. Of course, you did have a stint here in the DMV, and well, let me get into this. What prompted you to want to become a news anchor? What drove you to the career of television?
So my dad was really into news. He was a history buff, and so we grew up. I didn't really watch local news growing up. He watched, Univision, right? So he watched like their 6 and 10, I think it was. Primer Impacto, and he was always reading the newspaper. So everything was in Spanish. But for me, I just saw the importance of people getting their news. And in our case, it was knowing what was going on in the Hispanic community back home in the Dominican Republic. So I saw the importance of it more than like the glamour. And I didn't really consider it as a career because it was just so normal in my household until I got to college. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I was undecided. I wanted to be an attorney, but I didn't know what I wanted to do for undergrad. And somebody was like, you would be a really good journalist. And I checked it out and I fell in love. I mean, I guess I didn't realize a lot of the skills that I wanted to use to apply to journalism.
Yeah, it's interesting because like when I was in college too, of course, like my background's in radio. So radio and television is a lot of similarities. Take the same courses for the most part. And it's very interesting because I remember when I was taking like a news production class in college, and I was like, oh yeah, I can see it now. Me doing the sports and da, 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 da. And then I was like, nope, don't want to do that.
Wait, why not? How did we scare you off?
Oh man, it was just like I froze. Like I'm so much better behind the microphone when there's like no one in the studio with me, and I find it like I'm connecting more with an audience that way rather than trying to read a teleprompter. And but don't get me wrong, that was back then. Now I've done a lot of things on the news and things of that nature. So
cool.
I don't mind it. But I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could do it full time though.
Well, it's never too late. So, you never know. Life comes at you fast, or curveball. So.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. So let's talk about your career early on. So you started off where?
So out of college, I went to Kent State in Ohio. So out of college, I went to, I'm looking at some of the comments here. Hey, everybody, people tuning in from Philly. What's up? So,
What's up, Philly?
I went to Little Rock, Arkansas first. That is where I met my husband, who is from Chicago. And he's he was a sports anchor there. He just actually went from sports to news this year, but we met there. Then I got a job in DC. He got a job at the same station 6 months later in DC. And I was there for a couple years. He is still there. So we're doing a long distance marriage. And DC treated me really well.
Yeah. Well, and plus, you know, you're not that far. You know, you can take a quick little drive down 95.
No, it's manageable for sure. It's not bad.
Absolutely. So early on in your career, like have you come across any, like, I don't know, occurrences or stumbles or like learning lessons that you had to learn early on that kind of like put you in a position to where you're at right now?
So I'm trying to, there's so many things. Arkansas was probably, I mean, it was my first job, first gig. So I remember for my very first live shot, the photographer, I don't know why, he was cool. We were cool. I don't think he was trying to sabotage my live shot, but he told me like a couple minutes before I went live how many people tune in.
Right.
And when I tell you, I thought my knees were going to give out. I mean, I did the live shot, but I was so nervous. And for me, it doesn't happen as much now, but when I get nervous, my voice gets really high pitched.
Right.
And so that was, for me, the lesson there was not to picture tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. They usually tell you this because it also changes the way you communicate. I don't know if they do this in radio. Just picture one person, whether it's your mom, a friend, and it also makes your interaction a little more casual. Hey, Jumi! Jumi's an anchor where you are. She's an anchor at WRC.
Oh, that's what's up. What's up? All right.
So that was one. And then I learned early on, you got to have fun. You can't take yourself too seriously. So for me, it was going to the Raccoon Festival in Arkansas. And we went it was around the time that a tornado was supposed to go by. So the story almost got killed. But anyway, we went, and you gotta eat the raccoon. I mean, you can't just go there and not. So I had raccoon. It was very gamey, and I probably wouldn't do it again. But yeah, you learn not to take yourself too seriously.
Did they put barbecue sauce on that coon?
I mean, listen, that thing was a little bland. But you couldn't tell. It looked like I love it.
Right. Oh, that's funny. It kind of reminds me, like, back in the day when my old radio station I used to work for in Baltimore, I did this oyster shucking contest.
Ooh.
That was the worst thing ever.
Wait, was it because you didn't like it or because it was harder than it looks?
I didn't like it. I you know, and being from Baltimore, you're like, oh, man, seafood, that's what we do. But I was a crab guy, you know. I'm not into the oysters, and raw oysters at that. And so I'm like, oh, no, man, no. I didn't really kind of get a little bit more refinement about the oysters until I got older and actually went to New Orleans and had oysters there. Yeah. But that was back in the day. Yeah, that was back in the day. I'm a vegan now, so I don't even want to talk about that. But
okay.
So let's jump into some current events, because I know I like to always get the vibe from, especially from women, with the current things that are going on with Kamala Harris being nominated for the Democratic vice presidential nominee. How did you feel when you saw that? Like, what was your first thought?
Man, listen, I think politics aside, as a Black woman, to see a Black woman get that, and, you know, she identifies as Black and Indian, but to see her in such a high position for the world to see was so inspirational. And to see a woman who's intelligent, who's, you know, assertive, who's confident in herself, it was really powerful. And I think you can't help but acknowledge that and feel some pride. And then, you know, we did some stories the day after about how some kids were feeling about it, right? Especially kids who have a similar background to her.
Right.
And for me, it's really empowering and really inspiring to see a woman that high up who looks like a lot of us, right? And who, unfortunately, I think a lot of us have earned and are overqualified for seats like that table, right? So it's a long time coming. And hopefully, you know, the point of all of it, and she's even said that, is that she won't be the last, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think, you know, the having her break that glass ceiling and being in that position is just going to, you know, like I said, open up the floodgates for more and more women and young girls to see that and be like, oh, yes, that's who I want to be as well.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So outside of politics, let's get into, you know, because today's been like a hot news day. And so this is where I get to flex my news muscle. So
Okay.
as you know, the current situation that happened in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and today the Milwaukee Bucks decided to boycott their game against, I forgot who they're playing, but basically all the NBA teams said, you know, to stand in unison, they're not playing. What are your thoughts on that? Because it's ironic because today is the anniversary 4 years ago that Colin Kaepernick, you know, decided to take a knee in the NFL for the social injustice and the police brutality and things that he was fighting for. And I find it to be like sort of dope that 4 years later on the exact same day, the NBA decided to boycott games.
Listen, well, I have a few thoughts on that, actually. I think the idea that Black Lives Matter, I don't think that is being controversial. I don't think that's taking a side. I think hopefully we are past this being up for debate or, hey, you shouldn't voice your support for this. So that's number one. Number two, it's interesting. It reminds me of what the NBA, it wasn't NBA commissioner, NFL.
Oh, yeah, Roger Goodell.
He had said that he basically dropped the ball, that he wishes that he had reacted differently to Colin Kaepernick. And I think history is funny in that sometimes it takes some time for the tide to change and for people to realize, you know, perhaps this person was right. So I'm all for standing up for what you believe in. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't stand for anything, you'll fall for, you know what I mean? If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And I think with Colin Kaepernick, in that sense, he's led the way. And I know NBA players are choosing not to play. And then you had that ESPN commentator. My husband would be so mad that I don't know his name right now. But he decided to walk off the show.
Oh, yeah. Kenny Smith for TNT.
Yeah. He decided to walk off the show and to show solidarity with the players. So I don't know. I think it's an interesting time to be alive and seeing people deciding to stand up for what they believe in.
It is definitely an interesting time because it's like now we're getting ready for this election, and it goes to show you just how important it is for people to be very savvy on the issues, policies, but also not just be the follower that, you know, like a Pied Piper walking into your town just telling you a whole bunch of BS and then you're just following it. People really need to research and get to know what's going on and let your voice be heard, because voting it's like the most important thing in the world. And it's crazy how, you know, folks are still trying to suppress the vote, especially when it comes to the Black community and the brown community. Yeah. And,
you know, we've seen LeBron James, you know, he and some other NBA players stand behind it as far as getting out and getting people to vote. So you have some folks that say, shut up and dribble. I don't think your job should preclude you from or exempt you from trying to affect change. Especially something like voting.
Right. Which I find, you know, pretty hypocritical in the sense of, you know, said person from said network said that. And I'm like, well, how would you feel if someone came to you and just said, hey, shut up, just tell me the news. I don't want to hear your opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, we're all individuals. We all have the right to express ourselves. But and it's so crazy because it's like you really, especially like in this field, you kind of have to like walk a line. You have to toe the line a little bit because you don't want to be swaying or sway folks. But at the end of the day, you are who you are, your own individual. So it's always good to express yourself.
For sure.
So are you prepared? Are you ready to stand in the line for set hours, or are you going to try to just do your mail-in voting?
You know what?
I don't trust the Postal Service right now.
Listen, listen, the way things are going, right? And you know, we report the news, so we see a lot of it in the hearing that went on with the Postmaster General. And I think either you mail it in super early,
Right.
or just don't even think about the deadlines if you're a procrastinator, right? Know what the laws are in your state, because I know even for our market, it varies with PA, New Jersey, and Delaware.
Right.
So know what the rules and regulations are where you live, and the earlier you can do it, the better.
Absolutely, it's important. It's important. So I was thinking, let's talk a little bit about some music. So are you a big fan of the versus competitions that
I should have known you were going to ask about this, right? I've been watching so many stories about that. So yeah, I mean, we're the generation, we grew up with Brandy and Monica.
Right. What's your thoughts?
I hate to say it. There's really going to be no winner or loser.
Yeah, it's no winner.
But I feel like Brandy's just got more hits,
mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I went through my phase. First, I was really obsessed with Brandy. And then years later, it was Monica. So, I mean, I know what they've got in their arsenals, but I think Brandy's going to come out on top. What about you?
I'm the same way. I mean, because it all depends on where you were in your life when they both came out, you know? So I'm a little older than them, but they're kind of like still in my wheelhouse for the most part.
Yeah.
But I kind of go with Brandy, but then there's certain days I'm like, yo, Monica has some joints as well. And I think I think just for the culture, it's going to be super dope just to actually see the two of them, you know, in the same room, because, you know, for over like 20 something years, people have been trying to pit them against one another. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like, yeah, they're both contemporaries. They both came out relatively around the same time, same age. And I mean,
you know what? First off, I didn't think it was going to happen. Remember when I think Brandy said that Monica didn't want to do it, or I think it was that way. So it was looking a little iffy, but I think for this, like you said, more than competition, it's just for the culture. I think us 90s babies, I think it would be late 80s. We need this.
I'm older than that.
Wait, listen, maybe it's the whole black don't crack thing. I thought you and I were about the same age.
Nah, you know, hence the name Dope Since 76.
That's true. That's true. I remember seeing that and I was like, oh, okay. But yeah. See, I'm 89, so
that's
so
what's
yeah.
up. Yeah, well, you know, hey, it's all around the same thing, you know what I mean? Because like, you know, I was just having a conversation with a friend of mine earlier too about like eras of music, you know, and we were talking about kind of like I guess the liberation for females with like the WAP song, you know, with yeah. And I was thinking, I was like, well, damn, you know, like Lil' Kim in '96 when she dropped Hardcore, although people deem that as a liberating album for females, but then a lot of people don't realize like half those songs was written by Big. So that's like from a male's perspective of certain things. Although she did her thing on it, don't get me wrong, she added that her touch to them, but it's still words from a man, you know. And you think back to like in the '70s when certain songs came out where women were like, it was so underlining like the context of what they were saying. People weren't really kind of catching on to it. You had to like really like listen.
Right.
And so now it's like, yeah. So I mean, what are your thoughts on like WAP? Is that something to be banging?
I actually heard it for the first time. Was it last week? I was like, okay. It's a lot, but I like it. So my husband and I were like, I mean, there were a few times I actually paused it. I'm like, did she say what I think she said? Right. But listen, here's the thing. My friend and I, we were talking, we were like, there were songs back then that were pretty explicit, right? I mean, let's not talk about My Neck, My Back, right? Remember that? That we had no business singing, at least I didn't at my age. So I'm for it. I'm for it, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't see nothing wrong with it. At the end of the day, I think too, when it comes to certain songs and just, you know, personalities from folks, you gotta realize, like, they there to sell records. And so I think a lot of times people can't disassociate the artist from the person. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, you know, what you do for a living, what I do for a living. Like, I'm here on doing this, but when I'm like at the crib or I'm with friends and, you know, family, I'm like, it's totally different. Some people can't.
People can be multifaceted. That's number one, right? You can be a mom. You can still, you know, do your thing. Because I know a lot of people were saying that about Cardi B. But the other thing is, men have been doing this and talking this way forever.
Yeah.
I'm all about self-expression and not policing in that sense. And if you don't like it, don't listen to it.
Facts. Preach, sister, preach. That kind of leads me to my next question, because I know, like, now we're in this whole sort of, I guess, the world of the cancel culture. You know, your feelings get hurt. I'm a cancel you. You know, I don't do like this. Like, thoughts on that? Do you think that's something that's here to stay, or is it just something that's just going to be something that's, you know, for a short period of time and then will certainly disappear like everything else does?
Here's the thing. I should mention, my girl Mona and I used to do these IG lives. We did it for every week for about 2 months. And one of the topics was cancel culture. Of course, the day after the live shot or the IG live, a bunch of people got canceled. Doja Cat, everybody and their mama got canceled. So it's like, the point is, I mean, you talk about one person being canceled today and the next day somebody else does something. I think they were talking about Masika being the latest person, right? I think it's here to stay. I think as long as there's social media and this kind of mob mentality, I think it's here to stay. But, and this is the conversation my friend and I had, I don't know. I think my only concern with cancel culture, I like that it gives power to the people, right? Like, before social media, there wasn't a way to call out people in power and say, this is unacceptable. And so we choose not to pay attention to you anymore and line your pockets with our attention and all of that. But I get a little worried about this idea that if you screw up, you can never grow from it. There's no road to redemption.
Right.
And then you get into the issue of, is the apology genuine or not? But again, my biggest concern is people can't come back from it, apparently. You know, like, that's it. You're done.
Some people can't.
Except for Kanye. And I'm not picking a side. I'm serious. Like, it's like the conversation comes up over and over again. There are some people that just, you know, like, I think they're so entrenched in what people grew up, like, we grew up with Kanye.
Right.
And I think there are figures like that where they could be as controversial as ever, and you know, they just don't get canceled.
I think at a certain point in time, when it comes to Kanye, it's like people really think, okay, they have a soft spot in their heart for him because of some of the things that he had endured, from his mom passing to, you know, the mental health that he has. Yeah. But then there's parts of me that be like, this dude is a bona fide idiot. And, you know, you can't lure me in with all your craziness anymore, man. I got to take a break from you. But yeah, but it's all pockets. It's all pockets. It's like, like you mentioned, like the Doja Cat. I love Doja Cat. But then when I was doing a little bit more research, like, man, she's wild. I had to let her go for a little bit. You know? But they're not dumb though, because here's what they do. Like, case in point, she jumped on that new song with Lil Wayne. She tries, you know, they'll find ways to indoctrinate themselves back into the culture, you know, like sneaking in when they know they're not supposed to be in there. But then people, you know. And
next thing you know, you're humming to the song and listening in secret because, like, nobody can know how much I like this song.
Right.
Cancel. So I mean, music is a powerful thing, right? Like, I think more than anything, we've seen that celebrities, like music artists,
right,
for a lot of people, are the hardest to let go of. You know, if they got like some banging music, or if you grew up with them.
Whoa, wait a minute now, sister. I'm about to go there with you. So, have you let go of R. Kelly?
Oof. Yeah.
See, that's one, and see, that's the crazy thing. Like, that's one person, like, I'm like, damn, this dude had it all.
Yeah.
And then, but the thing is, people knew from the jump, like, he's a little loco. So.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy because that tape came out, had to be between 06 and like it was like around that year.
Yeah.
So we've been like, point is like, not only have we known about it, there was video evidence of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it took a while. For it to really happen. But remember when Lifetime came out with their documentary? It was their 2-part documentary.
I refuse to watch it.
So here's the thing, and it goes to this whole cancel culture thing, and like, is any kind of PR? What is it? Mm-hmm. Any PR is good PR or whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
They said his streaming numbers went through the roof.
Yeah, because that's the crazy thing. Because what happens is people want to go back and listen to the songs and try to dissect it and see if they can pick up on certain things. You know.
Right.
I mean, case in point, you might be young, but you're ready. Oh, no, wait a minute. That's Keith Sweat. So,
age ain't nothing but a number.
Yeah,
but he wrote that for number.
Yeah, age ain't nothing but a number. I mean, you think about, like, all them dudes at some point in time are very controversial in their lyrics. You know, they can go all the way back to, you know, country artists, to Jerry Lee Lewis. I mean, this dude was marrying 14-year-olds. And,
right. Yeah, man. I could do it.
Yeah. So let's talk about let's get into a little bit more music. So top 3 artists of all times. If you could only listen to these 3 artists, who would they be?
You know, I hate these because I'm all over the map, and I'm like, you got to be really good, or it's like I'm in the club for me to like really go with some current stuff. Like with the latest mainstream stuff, I don't like hopping on the bandwagon.
Right.
So unless I'm in the club, rarely do I play it on my own. However, Drake, I know I feel weird saying it, but he's the kind of artist I could just play all his songs and I'm good.
Right.
So I would say Drake. I hate that you're doing this to me. Top 3. Dang, I'm gonna take out all of my R&B, right? Because I was doing a whole other thing. I'm an R&B head.
Okay.
And I'd probably say Jay-Z and Beyonce.
I figured as much.
I know, it's so predictable. But if we're talking about like icons, like that kind of thing, like the kind of talent that well, with Drake maybe it's still up for debate. But once in a generation kind of thing, Beyonce.
Right.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, and someone who's constantly innovating themselves, yeah.
So you are definitely part of the Beehive.
Yes, I am.
Okay. I have to watch what I say because I don't need you coming for me. What artists that I can?
Yeah.
Oh, my top 3 artists are easy. Stevie Wonder.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Prince. And I mean, it's a toss up because this is a very hard question. I mean, I love MJ too, but
right.
I would probably go with Sade.
See, you're going back. Like those don't even compare. There's no.
Oh, so you're talking about like currently.
That's why I hate top 3s because like MJ, Prince, Sade, like they're on they're not even human. Kind of.
Well, that's true. That's true.
They transcend. But no, I feel you. What's your favorite Stevie Wonder song? I'm curious.
Oh, Golden Lady. But I think that song epitomizes every ounce of how I would feel when I get married to the woman that I marry, because that sums it all up. You gotta listen to that song. It's a really dope song.
Okay.
Yeah, really dope song.
What about MJ? Favorite MJ song?
Uh, it would probably be Human Nature, but also Liberian Girl.
Okay.
I like that.
And the other one was Prince.
Oh yeah, Baby I'm a Star. That's my joint. An international lover, of course. But
okay, keep going.
Yeah, but so someone said Ribbon in the Sky. Yeah.
I love that song. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, current based artists is a toss up. Like I'm really digging Snow Allegra. I like her. I really dig her a lot. And I'm also a big fan of Division. I love Division. Everything Division puts out. And I remember I saw them in concert I think it was like 3 years ago in Silver Spring. And man, that was just like
live.
Oh, they're dope live. They're dope. Yeah.
That's the other thing, man. I feel like you got to be a good live performer.
That's the thing too. Like a lot of times, a lot of these artists are very good, production artists, as I would like to call them.
Yeah.
Then you see them live, you're like, man, wait a minute, this sucks.
Let's go back to the studio and let's just keep it there.
Right. You're like, you can have a better concert just driving home.
Right. Oh my gosh, my sister said she went to, I'll just say it's like an R&B icon. Yeah, well, she's a big R&B singer from the 90s, and she said she went to her live concert and it was terrible and people were walking out.
Was it Faith Evans?
Was it who?
Was it Faith Evans?
No, I thought she was really good live.
She depends on when you catch her.
Oh, gotcha. It was Tony. And I love Tony.
I love Tony. See, but Tony, I don't know, man. I think back in the day when she first came out, she was such an I guess sort of like this unicorn because like you never heard a voice like that before. And I think over the time, I think she just got lazy with it. So now it's just like,
yeah,
she always sounded like she was mumbling anyway when she was singing. So now it's just like super,
Right.
So anyway, all good in the hood. Favorite concert that you've ever been to outside of Jay-Z and Beyonce?
All right. So here's the thing. Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
I've only been to one concert in my life.
What?
Yeah.
And who was it? Jay-Z and Beyonce?
No. So you should question how big of a fan I am.
Yeah, I'm about to say, wait a minute.
No, well, okay. So this was when I was like 12. I went to a Mary J. Blige concert.
Oh, well, that's what's up.
She was really good. That's when it was her around the time she came out with that. She said it's your child. Remember that song?
Oh yeah.
So I went for that. But that's the only concert I've been to. I need to. Of course, I'm trying to get on it in the middle of a pandemic, so it's too late. I gotta wait a few days. But yeah.
That's wild. 12 years old up there listening to Mary J. talk about women's problems.
And I felt that. I'm like, dang, she said it's your child. Like, how you gonna do that to me?
Yo, that's wild. I thought you was gonna say like B2K or something like that.
Remember B2K?
Oh
my God.
Yeah.
No, I need to get on it. Here's the thing about concerts, man. Like, I like unless I'm getting near the front, like it's cool. I'll just listen to it in my car. I'll just watch it on TV. I'm not talking front row, but can I just get kind of close?
Yeah, you just want to be up in the mix.
I want to be all up in the business. Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't mad at you. And unfortunately, due to the pandemic, like these concert days are going to be all for nothing. That's why I'm loving the artists getting online and streaming and putting things up like that. Have you partaken into like some of like Club Quarantine with like D Nice or anything of that nature?
Yeah, I did the D Nice thing. That was really nice, and that was kind of, I want to say maybe a couple months into the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
It was really needed. I was on the live that broke the record. I think it was at the time.
Yeah, I was on that joint too. I felt like I was like, it made you feel like you was a part of something like super dope, but then it felt like you was in the like if you were in the club, like you was in there with like everybody.
Yeah, man.
Even though you was at your crib.
Everybody and their mama was on that thing. That was really, really cool to see. I think here's one thing. I think once the pandemic is behind us, whenever that is, obviously concerts will be back big time. But I think they'll be more expensive because people are going to be willing to pay premium, right? Like you haven't seen your favorite artist. In my case, never. But you haven't seen your favorite artist in like a couple of years at this rate. So. But
also too, I think it's going to be dope for a lot of these artists who may not have been out for a while, and you know, this will give them a chance. Like I'm looking forward to, I already know like Versus is going to do like a concert series, like with all the cats that they have done Versus with. It makes sense for them to take that and put it on the road. It makes sense for D Nice to go on the road, or any of the DJs, because all people want to do is just be able to be around folks once again and vibe and, you know, dance, social dance, whatever the case may be. But you know, like you said, whenever this pandemic ends, hopefully soon.
Hopefully, right? But the way things are going,
we shall see. All right, so we're gonna ready to close it out soon. But I like to do this thing where I have like these card games, right? So you get to pick what you want, which card game you want to play. So this is a hip hop game. This is Black Card Revoke, and this is a card game called Cuff. Shout out to my man Akil.
All right. So wait, what was the middle one? Black what?
Black Card Revoke.
Black Card Revoke. Wait, what's that about?
Black questions. If you don't know it, you're gonna get your Black Card Revoked.
You know what? After the couple confessions I made, I think it's only right that we officially put me to the test.
All right.
So I'll do that one. Yeah.
Black Card Revoke time. This is what I'm talking about. This is gonna be dope, Miss Reyes, because here we go. I'm bad at shuffling, so bear with me.
Please go easy on me. I guess you don't really get to like pick specifically which one, right?
Nope.
Oh goodness.
So I'm gonna make this one. Okay. So this is a music question. What should you do after you wobble? Do you A, back it up, B, bust a move, C, get in there, or D, hit the floor?
Oh my God, I should know this. Wait, I gotta do the dance real quick.
Now you gotta do the dance.
Wait, oh my gosh. Wait, give me the options again. I should know this. This is a damn thing.
All right. What should you do after you wobble? And please, people, don't comment and give her the answer, because I know some people are going to try to cheat. Should you A, back it up, B, bust a move, C, get in there, or D, hit the floor?
I'm going to say, oh my goodness. I'm going to say get in there.
You got it, girl. That's right.
Oh,
get
yeah?
Get in there. That's it.
Yeah. Get in there. Yeah. All right.
That's what's up. All right. Want to do one more?
Yeah.
All right. Now you're feeling good now. You're feeling good. All right.
That's when it all goes left. That's when
it, yeah. Let's see. Oh, let's do television. This is not a right or wrong answer. This is what you think. And then I want you to, say why you chose the answer. Which TV show should they bring back? A, Chappelle Show, B, A Different World, C, The Wire, or D, Living Single?
That's not my answer. I just if Girlfriends was in there, I would have said Girlfriends hands down. But
okay.
You know what? I'm gonna say the Chappelle Show.
Chappelle Show?
Yeah, because if there's someone who is able to speak his mind, and people just say that's Chappelle, he can do that, regardless of who he offends. I think we can use that type of refreshing comedy and take on things.
I would agree with you, but I will also say, for me personally, I would love to have A Different World back. because it was such a groundbreaking show for when it did come on, and it taught me, and you know, everyone I know growing up back then, like so many like life lessons, kind of like yeah. And
wait, I gotta say hi to my sister Giselle. Hey Giselle, somebody said The Wire. Okay.
Oh yeah, The Wire, as indeed. All right, let me do one more with you, and I'll make sure that it's a good one. Boom, 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 boom. Oh no, that's bad. All right, here's a good question. Who's the biggest scammer? A, Black China. B, Mona Scott. B, Joanna the Scammer. Is that dude that dresses like a lady? I think that is. That does the videos and he has like.
But he's really funny though.
Yeah. Yeah. They're supposed to be funny.
Well, no, his is. If it's the guy I'm thinking of, his thing is mostly comedy. But anyway, keep going.
All right, and the last one is Donald Trump.
Oof. You know I can't answer this either way.
I know you can't.
Whoever I say, I'm gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, you can. You can. So I would say let's say Mona Scott.
Why do you say that?
Because I mean, I know a lot of people loving hip hop and all this other stuff, but I think it's just some of the worst television ever been.
You think so?
Yeah,
I kind of get on the fence with her. Some people are voicing their opinions in the comments here. I with Mona, some people say like she single-handedly has like set Black folk back, right? But yeah, like Crystal said, my friend Crystal, she said Mona's a low-key genius.
A low-key genius, yeah.
But I mean, it depends on where you fall, right? Like, do you fall on get that money, right? Like an entrepreneur, a businesswoman, whatever, and then on the other side, it's dang, like you kind of, how do I say it? Like you perpetuate the stereotypes that Black people have been fighting for a long time,
right,
to shatter. So I'm gonna keep my opinion to myself on all of that.
All right, bet. All right, here we go. All right, one more. This is another music question, and this is one of my favorite songs too. According to Boosie, after wiping down your shoulders, what should you wipe next? Is it A, your shirt, B, your chest, C, your pants, or D, your shoes?
Y'all, can y'all give me the answer, please? Can y'all just let me know in the comments? I'm gonna guess. See, have I technically only gotten like 2 out of? No, I've not gotten any wrong.
You haven't gotten any wrong, but
okay.
if you,
I want to use my lifeline. Crystal's my lifeline. She said, wait a minute. She said shoulders and chest. Okay, never mind. I take back.
No, you better listen to your friend.
But wait, but is it the order that I'm supposed to get?
No. So you already wiping down your shoulders. So you know the song. Wipe me down. Shoulders.
Chest.
There it is. That's the answers. Shoulders, chest. You got it. I'm going to need you to listen to some Lil Boosie tonight.
Listen, you can't revoke my card, though, because in the areas where it mattered, I kept the peace. I brought back Chappelle. I am a student, so I'm very teachable.
Yes. Your black card has not been revoked. Is a little bit on, it's on layaway because.
Oh, got it. Is my black card like off black? Like, is it a little gray?
Yeah. You know, you good to go. All right, that's what's up. So, I like to do this because I know that you speak fluent Spanish. So I want to close this out because I've been working on my Spanish. I speak Spanish just a little bit.
Okay.
All right, but I'm gonna have to read it because I don't know it off the top of my head all that well. But
okay.
But to close things out, first and foremost, gracias por estar aquí conmigo esta noche. Boom.
That was really good. Now, did you go on Google Translate and pop that in?
Yeah. But my Puerto Rican aunt, she would love me for even knowing it. Like, I can read Spanish and I can say it. I just don't understand it. Like, I used to be good too back in the day.
You're like my husband. So as you can see, there's a lot of Dominicans in here because we're Dominican. So we kind of like, like we all hang out together and stuff.
Oh, right.
But, so my husband, he's African-American, and he says we talk too fast. Like, people in the Caribbean talk too fast. So when I take him to DR, he's like, I can't understand Jack. Well, like, if we were to watch like a Mexican soap opera, he can get by. So,
well, Telemundo used to be my friend.
Oh yeah.
I would try to mimic the dude like El Salvador, and yeah.
You're definitely, listen, if you like actually like dedicated yourself to it, you could totally do it. I understood what you said.
Word.
But like maybe try to not get someone who's Caribbean to teach you. We'll teach you the slang. We'll make you hip.
Right. A lot of Spanglish.
A lot of Spanglish.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, that's what's up. Well, Jeannette, man, I want to thank you again for taking time out to hang with me on this Dope Chats. This has been very, very fun, and I applaud you. Continue all the great success. Keep shining and doing your thing up in Philly. And next time you're down this way, let's connect. We'll hang. You, me, your husband. We'll tear it up. And
we'll tear it up, and we'll speak some Spanish real slow.
Right, and then we'll get you to do the wobble and listen to some more Boosie.
Okay.
That's what's up.
Thanks for having me. This was a lot of fun.
No doubt. Thank you. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great night. Thank y'all for tuning in. We'll be back next week. Peace.